Imagine this. What if your class notes could talk to you? What if those really difficult chemistry topics that you've been trying so hard to understand, or those really dense research papers that you need to review, could actually simplify itself in a matter of seconds? Even better, turn into an actual podcast where you can join in the conversation and ask a question and it gives you a response.
What?
In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use one of the best free AI study tools I've found so far. It does not only help you explain, summarize, and break down complex topics in the simplest way possible, but it can also help you turn your notes into quizzes, flashcards, mind maps. That is if you are a visual learner. My personal favorite feature of this tool is its ability to turn my notes into a podcast style conversation where I can interact with it by asking questions in case I don't understand something, and it's going to explain it to me. It's like having your own personal study group. The tool is called NoteBookLM. Now, to get to this tool, all you need to do is to go to the description box. You can click there and get you directly here, or you can just go to Google and type in notebooklm.google and you're going to get directly on the same page. Once you're here, click on Try Notebook LM. Now, Notebook LM is a research tool from Google Lab and it's basically like ChatGPT, but the difference is you are in control of the source material depending on whatever you want to learn. So you are the one who is going to give it the documents for it to do research on. Now, because this tool is from Google, once you sign into Google with your email address, you can just go ahead and you're already logged in to start using this tool. All right, now to start using it, you're going to come down where it says create new notebook. I'm going to click on that. Now we're going to start by adding sources. Sources are basically the materials that you want to feed into this Node LM to do research on. And there are several ways you can add source materials here. The first way is to add, maybe if you have a PDF or maybe an audio file, you can just drag and drop here. So I'm going to click on choose file and I'm going to add this PDF document. Another way we can add a source material is by coming here, click on this add button and you can add other sources. All right. So I've already added a PDF document. You can come to your Google Drive and add a Google document, a Google slide, or you can add links, maybe a website link, a YouTube link, or even just copy and paste the text. But I'm going to go to YouTube and we're going to go to YouTube here and copy the link of a YouTube page or of a YouTube video. And then we'll go back to Notebook LM and just paste it in here. Once it's pasted, click insert and it's going to also add as a source file. So these are the different ways you can add source files. All right. Now I'm going to go to other videos and just grab some source files for this particular topic that I want to study. Molecular symmetry and group theory was one of the topics that I had a lot of difficulties in back when I was in the university. And I'm going to be using this as an example to use this tool. All right, so what I'm doing is to just go to different YouTube videos that are that explains this topic, and I'm going to grab all of them and just come and paste the link here. Now, one thing I love about this tool is that you can add as many sources as you want. You can add PDFs, you can add text, you can just grab a text somewhere and paste it in here. So you can add as many source files as you want. And just like I said, you can copy and paste the text here. Simply come here where it says copy text, click on that. And let's say maybe you're reading a text, you come across a textbook online or maybe some text online on this topic that you're reading or you want to do research on. You can just copy the text and then go back to Notebook LM and paste it in there as a source file. Right, so once you have all your sources in here, you can start using this tool. Now, the first thing we're going to be using is to use it to create study guide. So come here and click on study guide and it's going to take some time and this is it here. When I click on this, you're going to see it has created a quick study guide for me. It started with a quiz and then it went down to the quiz answer key. And of course, it also goes down to give me some essay questions and yeah, some glossary of key terms, right? So this is a quick study guide that I can just quickly rush through. All right, so to close this, you can come here, right at the top here, just click on that. And then the next thing we can do is to create some briefing documents of all the source files. When you click on that, you can see this is a brief document that it has created. I'm going to click on this. Right here, these are all the important points I should be focusing on when I'm reading this particular topic. So it's basically giving me a briefing of all the important points that I should be focusing on of this particular topics based on the source files that I've provided it. So you can see it goes down from the introduction to showing me key symmetric operations, point groups, group theory, Hamiltonian operator, character table. I mean, it's going to give me a briefing of everything, all the most important points of this topic. Now, another thing we can do is to create FAQs, all right? So come here and click on FAQ, and it's going to give us a question and answer session right here. So when you click on that, you can see it has given us some questions, and here is the answer that it has provided, all right? It's going to be testing or quizzing us on this particular topic based on the source files provided. So this is a handy feature to test your understanding of the topic that you're studying. Now, if you like this so much, you can also convert it into a source file, right? So you can come here, turn it into a source file, and it's going to come and add up to the source files, right? So this is it right here. You can also create a timeline for the source files right here. Now, another feature I love is the mind map feature. When you come here, you're going to see mind map right here. So when you click on that, it's going to create a mind map, and take note that it's going to take some time to actually generate the mind map. All right, here is the mind map that it has generated. And when you click on this, immediately you can see it looks like a tree. It's kind of like a tree form. But what it does is mind maps actually help you to visually organize key and important topics in your notes or the source files provided. And it also breaks them down into smaller, easy to understand subtopics so that it makes reading and understanding what you're reading more easier, right? And this particular format actually helps you to make complex information simpler, faster to review, and easier to remember. Now, if you want to review a particular topic or subtopic, you can simply just click on that, and it's going to link you back to the original source files where this topic is actually located. Now, as you read your text, you're going to see some numbers within your text. Now, these numbers directly shows you exactly where this information is extracted from or is located in your source files, right? So, for example, this one is gotten from Symmetry Lecture Notes PDF. And it also comes with citations. So these are citations in case you want to do research for a project paper. Now, when you're here, another thing you can do is to start chatting with your notes. So, for example, I'm going to come down here and then ask it to briefly explain how I can easily identify the 5 different types of symmetry operations in a molecule. All right, so this is what it has given me. Now, basically, this is a space where you can freely interact with your documents or with the source files I have given it. Yeah, you can ask it to summarize, you can ask it to make it easy, provide examples. It's important to note that it is extracting information based on what you have fed it with. Now, one of my favorite feature is this audio review feature, which basically turns your sources into a podcast style conversation. Now, to turn your sources into a conversation, just come here and click generate, or you can come on this customize button and then you give it a specific instruction on what you want it to focus on in the conversation, right? So this is what I've given it, and I'm going to click generate here. And then we can just play and listen.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into molecular symmetry.
And our mission really is to get a solid handle on rotational symmetry.
Right. How to spot it, figure out, the specifics like order and angle.
And the symmetry element is the geometrical thing, the line, the plane, the point that you perform the action.
Action is the what you do, element is the where you do it. And we're zeroing in on rotation today.
That's the plan. The main rotational element is the CN axis, an n-fold axis of rotation.
CN, what does the N tell us?
N is the order. It means if you rotate the molecule by 360 degrees divided by n, it looks unchanged.
Okay. So N is the order, and the angle is 360 over N.
Precisely. That relationship is fundamental.
So C2 means 180 degrees, C3 is 120 degrees, C4 90 degrees, and so on. Makes sense.
Yep.
Another great thing is that you can jump into the conversation and ask a question if in case you are lost or don't understand something. So to do that, come here and click interactive mode. And you can then click on the play button right here. And once you click on that, you're going to see this blue join button.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping.
All right, now if you want to join the conversation, click on the join button and you can ask a question.
You do some basics on symmetry, group theory concepts. Hey there. Want to share your thoughts on this?
So I'm having a lot of trouble understanding how to identify the order of rotation for a particular molecule. Let's say a pentane molecule, right? So I want you to really go deep dive and explain how I can really understand how to identify the order of rotation.
Well, that's a great way to think about it, like a painting.
A painting molecule, I like that. It gets at the visual aspect.
Okay, let's unpack this. When you're looking for rotational symmetry, you're trying to see if you can spin that molecule you're painting around an axis and have it look exactly the same as it did before you spun it.
And when we talk about another rotation, you might already have identified one axis, and you're wondering if there are others, maybe oriented differently, that also leave the molecule looking unchanged after a partial turn.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Think about that painting. Maybe you can spin it 180 degrees, halfway around, and it still looks the same. That would be a C2 axis, right?
Exactly. The 2 tells you how many times it looks the same in a full 360-degree rotation, including the starting position. So one other time after the initial, but you could also spin it 180.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So I want you to explain how to calculate the angle of rotation for a molecule.
Okay, that's a really important question.
Yes, knowing the angle is key to understanding the symmetry.
Well, the angle of rotation is directly related to the order of the axis, which we denote as n in Cn.
Think of it this way. A full circle is 360 degrees.
And for Cn axis, you rotate the molecule by 360 divided by n degrees to get an identical view.
So if you have a C2 axis, the angle of rotation is 3602, which is 180 degrees.
For a C3 axis, it's...
Hey, yeah, what's up?
I want us to talk about permutations. How do you identify the different symmetric permutation groups for a particular molecule?
Okay, that's a fantastic follow-up.
Yes, permutations are absolutely fundamental to understanding symmetry groups.
So when we talk about permutation groups in the context of molecules, we're looking at how the identical atoms in a molecule can be rearranged by a symmetry operation.
Think of it like shuffling a deck of cards, but with the identical atoms. If you swap 2 hydrogen atoms in a water molecule, for instance, the molecule still looks the same.
Exactly. Each symmetry operation corresponds to a specific permutation of these identical atoms.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's take water H2O, which has a C2V point group.
Its symmetry operations are the identity E, the C2 rotation, and 2 mirror planes, sigma V and sigma V prime.
For the 2 hydrogen atoms in water, the identity operation leaves them unchanged. That's one permutation.
The C2 rotation around the oxygen atom swap.
All right, so
Yep, go on.
I think I'll better understand with a practical example to suggest some sources where I can really get practical example tutorials which shows how to calculate and identify symmetric permutation groups for different molecules.
Oh, you're looking for resources that specifically focus on the permutations themselves. Got it.
How great is this tool? It actually feels like you're having a conversation with an actual tutor, an actual study assistant. So you can be doing some chores in the house, but you are also studying by having conversations with this AI podcast assistant. Now, if you want to keep the conversation, you can also just download it by coming up here, click the download button, and you can save it for later. Alright guys, so that is how you use NoteBookLM to study smarter and not harder. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do not forget to hit that thumbs up button and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell button so that every time a video is uploaded, you're going to be the first to know. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.